You think if you put her first, she'll never leave. But let me tell you a brutal truth. The moment you put her above yourself, she starts to look down on you. And once respect dies, love follows it like a shadow. 1. Why putting her first backfires. There's this story I hear over and over again. A man falls deeply for a woman. At the start, everything is balanced. He has his own life, his hobbies, his friends, his vision. She was attracted to him for that very reason, because he had something bigger than her, something he lived for. But then, slowly he starts shifting. Instead of going to the gym, he cancels for her. Instead of hanging out with his boys, he makes sure he's always free. He puts her at the very top of his list. He believes this is the right way to love. But what happens? Instead of feeling cherished, she starts feeling something else. Boredom, sometimes even irritation. Why? Because when you put her first, you lose the very thing she respected in you. Women are drawn to men who carry themselves with dignity. They're drawn to men who know who they are, who stand firm in their purpose. But when you throw all that away just to please her, she feels the weight of it. She sees you as a man who abandoned himself, and no woman can deeply respect a man who abandons himself. See, the truth is attraction and respect go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. When you overgive, when you sacrifice too much, you create an imbalance. She doesn't feel safe with you anymore because she knows you'll bend at any moment. She knows your choices don't come from strength, but from fear, and fear never wins respect. This is why so many men are confused. They say, but I gave her everything. Why did she leave me? The answer is simple. She left because you gave her everything except the one thing she actually wanted. Your spine, your backbone, your identity. Putting her first might feel like love in your head, but to her it feels like weakness. And weakness is the fastest way to kill respect. 2. The trap of worshipping her. Let me tell you what worship looks like in a relationship. You start treating her like she's perfect. You excuse every wrong thing she does. You never question her. You smile and nod, even when you're uncomfortable. You believe she can do no wrong. At first, she might enjoy the attention. She might even feel special. But soon, something shifts. Because deep down, no woman wants a man who bows to her like she's a goddess. She doesn't want to lead. She doesn't want to carry all the weight. When you worship her, you lower yourself. And once you place yourself below her, she stops seeing you as her equal. That's when she starts losing respect, because equality matters. Respect grows only when she sees you as strong, capable, and standing side by side with her, not beneath her. Here's where men get it twisted. They think if they keep showing her endless devotion, she'll love them more. But the opposite happens. She starts to test you. She raises her voice, pushes your limits, makes demands, not to hurt you, but to see if you'll stand up. And when you don't, when you just worship quietly, she feels nothing but disappointment. A woman doesn't want a servant. She wants a man. Someone who will look her in the eye and say, I love you, but I won't lose myself for you. That's strength. That's what earns respect. Worship is beautiful when it's towards God, but when it's towards a woman, it's dangerous because you end up giving her something she never asked for, control. And once she has control, she loses desire. Respect fades, attraction dies, and love becomes just a memory. 3. She was attracted to your balance, not your sacrifice. Think back to when she first noticed you. Maybe you were busy with your goals, M. Maybe you had a life outside of her, your gym, your work, your family, your circle. You weren't chasing her every second. You had balance. That balance made you attractive. She looked at you and thought, here's a man who knows who he is. That confidence, that self-focus, that discipline, it pulled her in without you trying. But then something happened. You decided she was the one. And slowly, you began shifting everything around her. You skipped your morning runs. You let your work slide. You stopped showing up for yourself. And instead of her feeling loved, she started feeling the pressure. She could sense the imbalance because now instead of being a man who had a full life, you became a man whose life was her. The sacrifice you thought would prove your love actually stripped away your value. See, women don't fall for sacrifice. They fall for strength. They fall for balance. When you give up too much, she doesn't think, wow, he loves me so much. She thinks, if he gives up this easily for me, does he really respect himself? And when she starts questioning your self-respect, she can't respect you either. Here's the tough pill. Women admire men who keep their world intact, even when they're in love. She wants to feel like she's a part of your life, not the entire thing. She doesn't want to carry the burden of being your only focus. It makes her feel trapped, not treasured. Love is not about giving her everything. It's about sharing who you are without losing who you are. That's the balance she fell for in the first place. And when you lose that balance, she loses attraction. Respect fades, and eventually the woman who once adored you starts pulling away. 4. Respect is born from boundaries. Let me tell you something most men miss. Respect doesn't come from flowers, gifts, or sweet words. It comes from boundaries. Boundaries are not about being harsh or controlling. They are about showing her and the world who you are and what you stand for. Think of it like this. If you're a man with no boundaries, she can call you at 3:12 a.m. and you'll pick up. She can cancel plans last minute and you'll say, it's okay. She can disrespect you in front of people and you'll laugh it off. You think you're being kind, but what you're really showing her is that your self-respect is cheap. And once she sees your self-respect as cheap, she cannot value you. On the other hand, a man with boundaries is different. If she calls late, he says, I'll speak to you tomorrow. If she cancels last minute without reason, he doesn't rearrange his entire life for her. If she disrespects him, he calmly but firmly makes it clear it won't happen again. That's when she pauses. That's when she feels something real, because now she knows she's dealing with a man who values himself. Boundaries create polarity. They make her feel safe, not because you're controlling, but because you're unshakable. She knows she can't walk all over you. She knows you stand for something bigger than her moods. And that's when respect is born, not in gifts, not in sacrifice, but in the silent strength of a man who knows his worth. 5. The mother role problem. Here's something men don't realize. When you put her first all the time, you don't look like her lover anymore. You start looking like her child. And no, woman desires her child. She may love him, she may protect him, but she can't feel deep attraction toward him. That's the reality. Think about it. When you're always asking, what do you want to do? What do you feel about this? Are you okay with that? You push her into leading. You're making her the decision maker. Slowly, she steps into a role she never wanted, your mother. And once she's in that role, the polarity between you collapses. She can't admire you because she's too busy guiding you. She can't feel feminine because she's stuck being masculine. This is why so many women say, I just don't feel it anymore. They don't always mean they stopped loving you. They mean you stopped being the man they could look up to. When you surrender all leadership just to keep her happy, she feels the burden. And women don't fall in love with burdens. A healthy relationship is not about one person always leading. It's about balance. But that balance requires you to hold your ground, to take charge sometimes, to say, here's what I want, here's where I'm going, because that's what allows her to relax into her own energy. No woman wants to guide you like a child. She wants to stand beside a man. And the more you put her first without question, the more you force her into a role that kills her attraction to you. Love without respect feels like pity, and pity is the death of desire. 6. The fear of losing her. Let's get real. Why do men put women first? It's rarely just love. Most of the time, it's fear. Fear of losing her. Fear that if you say no, she'll walk away. Fear that if you stand your ground, she'll find someone else. But here's the paradox. The very fear that makes you put her first is the same fear that makes her lose interest. A woman can sense when a man is moving out of fear instead of strength. When you're scared of her leaving, you stop being authentic. You stop being bold. You stop being you. Instead, you become cautious, hesitant, always trying to please, and nothing kills attraction faster than fear-driven behavior. See, women respect men who can walk away, not because they want you gone, but because walking away proves you are not trapped. It shows you have options. It shows you're not afraid of being alone. That fearlessness is what makes a woman lean into you. She feels safe when you're not desperate for her presence. Ironically, the man who is willing to lose her often keeps her. The man who is terrified of losing her almost always does, because respect cannot survive where fear controls you. And if respect is gone, love soon follows. 7. What women actually respect. Here's the truth most men avoid. Women don't respect men who put them first. They respect men who put their purpose first. A woman wants to feel like she's standing beside a man who has direction, someone who values his mission, his growth, his standards. Respect is not earned by begging. It's commanded by how you live. When she sees that you guard your time, when she sees you won't tolerate disrespect, when she sees you stay consistent with your vision, she can't help but respect you. Even if she gets mad in the moment, deep down she admires it because it shows strength. Men often confuse love with self-abandonment, but women don't fall for men who abandon themselves. They fall for men who protect themselves, who nurture their own identity. That's the paradox. The less you put her on a pedestal, the more she respects you. The more you hold your ground, the more she wants to lean in. Respect is everything. Without it, love is fragile. With it, love grows stronger. And respect doesn't come from overgiving. It comes from being the man she knows she can't shake. 8. How to shift the dynamic. Maybe you're listening right now and realizing you've been putting her first for too long. You've lost yourself. She doesn't look at you the way she used to. But here's the good news. You can shift the dynamic. It starts with reclaiming yourself. Stop apologizing for having needs. Stop canceling your priorities just to please her. Say no when you need to. Protect your time. Get back to your goals, your body, your vision. Remind her and yourself that you exist beyond her. That's not neglect. That's strength. And women feel drawn to strength. When she sees you putting yourself first again, she may resist at first. She might test you harder. But if you hold your ground, something powerful happens. She starts to soften. She starts to respect you again, because deep down, she never wanted to lead. She wanted to feel the weight of your presence. And here's the final truth. If you reclaim yourself and she still can't respect you, then she was never truly yours. Because the right woman will always respect the man who respects himself. And that's the kind of man you must be. Respect doesn't come from losing yourself. It comes from standing tall in who you are. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who's forgotten his worth and subscribe to my channel, because here we speak the truths no one else dares to.